So, since this is a spoiler-free-ish review, I'm gonna tell you how I feel in part through memes or memes. Looking at you, Robert. Memes. How about that? Down. Listen to man. Listen to man. I saw Avengers Infinity War. I don't know, to be honest with you, what exactly I might have been going in for. You know, you kind of you got a little excited about the idea, about the prospect of Infinity War, because it's been like 10 years of touting this great big bad that is coming, you know, and you kind of like, okay, let's see how this goes out. But also, you've learned over the years to kind of temper your expectations about certain things, even in a Marvel Studios film. You temper it a little bit. Because there were some Marvel films that I liked a lot more, and some that I was like, all right, no. You know, there was a great deal of hype, not just in terms of the marketing and all that, excuse me, but also, you know, like initial Twitter reactions, because, you know, critics get to see it a little beforehand, so their Twitter feed was coming out, and you get to see little pieces of information, and it was like, you know, it's great, or, you know, you'll be traumatized, or oh my gosh, you'll be curled up in a ball, the best one ever. But I will say that, you know, the movie is all of that and a bag of chips. Well, cheese sticks. Product placement. And let me just say up front, totally spoiler free, but you're going to leave the cinema questioning the decisions of some of your, you know, fan favorite characters. Like that one. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I gave Avengers Infinity War a 5 out of 5, not because it was flawless, because it wasn't. It had some flaws, but it was deeply satisfying, like deeply satisfying. It's like eating good curry. You know, you might have some hard chana in the mix, but if the paratha good and the overall curry is good, that is still an exceptional meal. So that's Infinity War. You have no idea what is coming. Or if, you know, because spoilers and loudmouth people exist, you do hear whispers of what's to come. I still say go and see it, because hearing about it and seeing it, that right there, that's two separate entities.
We don't do that here.
Avengers Infinity War is a culmination of 10 years of an 18, 19, 20 episode series. This is basically, like, when you really watch like all the Marvel movies together, this is basically season 1 of our best TV show. So in that regard, think of Infinity War as the season finale of season 1. For the comic book fan, there is a significant amount of payoff. But even if you are a peripheral, let's just go to the cinema now, you know, it's on kind of person, I think you will be rewarded. One of the things I liked a lot about Avengers Infinity War is that the humor wasn't, the humor overall wasn't drowning. It's a problem that I have with both houses, with the two main houses. Either you try so hard not to be humorous that you end up being super dark. You know, I guess no one stays good in this world. Or you litter a perfectly good film with a bucket of sugar. You know, like the earlier MCU films had humor, but it was measured. You could see, okay, this happened for this reason and this happened for that. Like Iron Man was humorous. Captain America had humor in it. It was chuckle-worthy humor. It wasn't all the way out humor, like Tommy Lee Jones' character, the general, when he's watching Steve and he's like, "Look at that boy, he's making me cry." That, that kind of thing, the delivery of it and the way how the line was written, that's the kind of humor I like. I'm really glad, therefore, that Infinity War did not overkill with the humor. It has humor, it's a great deal of humor, but it's not Ragnarok kind of scene. When it's called for, it's called for. Thanos is the villain that I have always wanted, especially within the MCU. Thanos is like Eli Pope. You should hate Eli, but yet you can see his point, and you can believe in it. I want more villains with the resonance, like how Killmonger had resonance, Thanos had resonance, Alexander Pierce, the head of the Security Council in Winter Soldier. He was cool. I liked him. I liked because you could understand what his motivations were. I like that. Vulture, as somebody was recently reminding me, Vulture is also a really good villain who had resonance. As a villain, I'm more invested in him than, say, Apocalypse, Mutant. I mean, seriously, Fox, was it so hard to not just take from the comics, take from the 90s series and make Apocalypse like that? I don't need you, mutant. Or even Steppenwolf. Those two particular villains, I couldn't go along the ride with them, And his motivations, I have to say, are a lot better in the film than they are in the comics. But in the film, you can understand his motivations a little bit more. You'd be like, yes, 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 I see your point. With all the cast that is there, the playing field felt solid. Though I will say there were some characters I needed more of, both on the villain side and the hero side, and some I could have done with a little less. The inclusion of the Guardians of the Galaxy in this film, the scenes with them and even the humor with them, like the introduction of the Guardians of the Galaxy to this Avengers universe, feels closer to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 than the slapstickiness of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I feel like the writers and the directors got what was the spiritual essence of the Guardians that we all loved in the first film, and the music for their introduction is actually pretty cool as well. So you will indeed leave the cinema questioning timelines, because Marvel movies have the cinematic timeline, and that's different from the actual timeline. We're celebrating the first 10 years of Marvel, but really it's 8 years. It's been 8 years since Tony Stark stood up and said,
"I am Iron Man."
Iron Man 2 takes place around the time that Nick Fury was going into the Mojave Desert because of Thor. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that might have been the same week where, around the same time where Hulk, the Incredible Hulk was happening. So he had crap happening in New York, Harlem, and then he had crap happening in the Mojave Desert, which is Thor's hammer and the introduction of Thor, and then Iron Man 2 is happening. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is a film that's coming out in June of this year, that film takes place just after the events of Civil War. So in fact, Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place before Infinity Gauntlet. Some characters on both sides could have been, like their impact, their death could have been a little bit more meaningful. There's some scenes that are not in the movie that were in the trailer, or like even the composition of the shot is different. It's kind of like, you know, in Rogue One where Jin was staring down the face of a TIE fighter, and then when you watch the movie it was nowhere there. It's kind of like that level of stuff is happening. Your eyes are going to love these visuals, especially in IMAX. And again, especially since it was already filmed in an IMAX camera, IMAX format camera, it pays to just go and see it. It is glorious. When you see Stephen Strange on screen and he does his strange things, you're just like, yeah. Now, all we sort of really need is to know the title for Avengers 4.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Before I go, I just want to end with like a quick plea to like local cinemas and cinemas throughout the Caribbean, I guess. Avengers Infinity War was scheduled to come out May the 4th. Then we heard that worldwide it was coming out April the 27th. I don't have Facebook Trinidad. I have Facebook, period. Which means that trying to dodge spoilers and hints and pirate copies that are floating all over the interwebs is hard. And I feel like, you know, nerds have proven that when it's important, they will spend their money. And I would like that maybe in the future that let's try and see if we can get it on the same day now. Anyhow, that's my 2 cents on that. Again, 5 out of 5. Go see it. Take your kids to see it. Yes, there is a PG-13 element because there's death and stuff, but you're gonna have to talk to them about death anyway, so why not now? I'm gonna go now.